What's up, y'all? Today I'm starting a new series. It is Evolution Unwrapped, basically. And it's about, I'm not going to explain evolution or Christianity. It's just finding the middle line between evolution and God creating everything. So, as everybody should know, in the beginning, God said, "Let there be animals that liveth on the earth and in the sea." And then also, two of every kind got on the ark, as everyone knows. But evolution says that animals were jumping from this species to this species with a big bang, and then one molecule turned into two, and then animal, plant, everything. But I don't necessarily believe that, but I believe there's more to Christianity and the belief of God creating everything. There's like, I'm trying to find a middle line, so I'm gonna find out by the end of this series where that middle line is, hopefully. Or I'm just gonna make a lot of people confused when I start asking this. We'll find out. But when you look at the Big Bang Theory and all that, all has evolution. It's got animals going from this to this. We do know, however, that because the world's like a big puzzle piece, that all the pieces of the puzzle of the world fit together, and we have one big Earth. Like, all the land chunks fit together to form a puzzle into one big Pangea. That Pangea is it's like, when it's separated, there's animals found on one island and on the other that were the same animal. They just got separated. This animal adapted to one climate, this animal adapted to a different climate, and now they both have adaptations. At what point does adaptation become evolution? And does it? So I don't think that evolution, I don't believe that, but I don't know, like, adaptations are like, is the polar bear and the grizzly bear, like, where they both eventually one bear down the line? Like, you got this grizzly bear, he goes over to Alaska or Antarctica, and then you got this grizzly bear who goes to tropical rainforest. In the tropical rainforest, you want to blend in to stalk your prey, so you're going to have an adaptation that turns you darker toned, darker skinned, darker haired, and that'll help you to stalk your prey. In the Arctic, you're going to have an adaptation that makes you whiter and less visible, so you can stalk your prey there. The grizzly bear, did it turn into the black bear? And is that evolution? Did God create something where we do have evolution? When God says, "Let there be animals," did he make just one bear? Or did he make the polar bear, the grizzly bear, the koala bear, and all these other bears? At what point does a species considerably evolve to another species? Like the finch, you got the big beak finch and you got tiny beak finch. They were both one finch. The islands got separated from Pangea, and now you got this finch that's made to crack nuts with his big beak. And you got this one over here that's made to get little worms and insects with his tiny little beak. At what point does this finch go back to? Does he go back to that one finch? Or were there more finch before that? And was the finch the original? Was there, like, maybe the cardinal? Or at what point does that become a single species organism thing? Did God create one? I obviously don't go that far back. I don't think God created just one little cell and let that multiply and go out. I don't believe the monkey jumped to the human or any of that. But, like, an adaptation, like, people have it. It's like a special type thing. So, like, when you see a special ed person, they had an adaptation. Now, sometimes that can be helpful to humans, and sometimes it can be harmful. Like dark-skinned people, the way their eyes are, the way their face is, the way their mouth is. That's all adaptations over time in sections of the world to help them in that section of environment. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, sometimes it died off, sometimes it didn't. That's just like what I'm talking about. So you got the polar bear, you got the grizzly bear, you got the koala bear. At what point do they go back to one bear? Or did God create two polar bear and two grizzly bear and two koala bear? How far back does that go before it becomes one bear or two bear? At what point do they turn into separate species? Or did they? Was it all one big, here's all the bears, God created them all? I don't think so. Because within the past 30 years, we have had a gray mouse in Africa turn into a black mouse. That's adaptations. That black mouse did better surviving because he was on black rock, so that helped him survive. The gray mouse and the black mouse are separate. But if you were to show them to somebody else who didn't believe in evolution, they would say, oh yeah, God created the gray mouse and the black mouse. Well, he didn't. That's an adaptation that happened to the same mouse over time. So at what point does that become just one mouse? Does that go back to the rat, where are rats and mouse connected? Or did God create the rat and the mouse? Now, obviously, I don't believe that we are and monkeys are connected. There's obviously, you got the bears, you got the birds, you got the ocean animals, you got the whales, you got the sharks, you got the fish. There's different kinds of animals, and I don't think they're connected. I don't believe that they're connected. But at the same time, God created a bear. God created a mouse. How far do those connect back to before they started considerably evolving into the different species that they are today? That's what I'm going to be trying to figure out over this period of time. Not sure yet, because I haven't started yet this first video. So we're gonna hopefully find out that if you either got the far left or you got the far right when you're talking about creation and evolution. You got Bill Nye way over here, you got Christian dudes up here, you got all these people just far right, far left. There's gotta be a center to both of them. You take Christianity, God created two of each animal entered the ark. Those two animals entered the ark. Then they eventually evolve, so you take evolution, and now you got a mixture of both. God didn't make it clear he made it clear there were two of each animal. He didn't make it clear of what kind they were, or the species that they were, or what they turned out to be. Like the finch, you got the big beak, you got the little beak. Well, one finch entered that boat. You got two species here, but at what point do those two species break off? Now you got a cardinal. Was there one cardinal that entered the boat, and that one cardinal made different species of cardinal? Adaptations go so far. Adaptations can only go so far before it becomes these two entered the ark. So, that's what we will be solving over this next, hopefully I can figure it out in a month. But this is episode 1 of a few.